Jax has 8 CS. He gets another 4 CS or some shit, 3 CS in like 3 minutes. So from this point until like what, 540, he gets 3, 4, 5 CS max. It's unheard of, right? Like, you can't actually see this, but why? That's what I'm teaching you, right? And you guys can do exactly the fucking same in your games. What's up, guys? Hope you're doing well. In today's video, we're going to be looking at a lane I played on a smurf. This is me playing with the misses. And this is me playing on like a platinum account. Now, apparently this Jax I was playing against in the mid lane. I know it's a little bit weird, but we can treat this like pretty much any melee matchup with some sort of gap closing ability, okay? How do we actually get from 0 CS to 0 CS at around level 1 to 48 CS to 12 CS at around the 6-minute mark? There's a lot of action in this lane, so I just want to talk you guys through like what I've been thinking during this laning phase and how this is actually possible, because yeah, let me put it this way, if this is a platinum victor, a gold victor, a diamond victor, it's not going to look like this. So what do I do differently? How am I thinking differently in this early laning phase? And hopefully this will be really useful. If it is, let me know by leaving a like, and yeah, any questions about anything, let me know in the comment section. Now, in this kind of like game, when I get into this game, I know immediately that mid lane, when I'm against a Jax with Ignite, this could be a Zed with Ignite, this could be a Katarina with Ignite, this could be another champion with some sort of setup like Lissandra, for instance, even though it's a little bit different because she's ranged. But the thing I'm getting at here is that Diana and those champions, even if it is like a Katarina, a Talon, a Kiana, right? Even if they don't have like the most CC in the world, I am going to be very vulnerable to them. Also, Jax and Diana is mixed damage, so I can't take like just armor because, you know, not both of them are attack damage champions. If they're 2 AP champions, like if Jax was Lissandra, I can take magic resist and be a little bit more like kind of chill, knowing that I can probably just tank like a full combo from them or whatever. So here I do have to be careful, right? There is a legit kill threat on me in the early game. So how do I actually, you know, kind of just like not die in the first 6 minutes against a pretty scary like early game? Well, let's get into it. First of all, I know that, you know, me getting ganked at level 3 is a possibility. So as soon as Jax hits level 2, really, because he'll have Q and E, most likely, he can jump on me, and if Diana is in a position, she can jump on me as well, right? And I'll probably have to blow flash, which is pretty aids to kind of just like start the game off. So what I want to do around this time, I want to try and put a ward down around 125-ish. The reason I don't just run like this is because if Jax is smart, he can always sit here and just wait. This can always be warded as well. So I just want to wrap around so I get vision of this area first. You can see how my fog this, so this is blue side fog. I would see Jax if he was sitting here, and if he is sitting here, I just Q and run out. And I'm chilling, right? I might not get the ward down, but hey, at least we got a little bit of damage on Jax. No worries. So we put the ward down, and then we run back to mid. Now, at this point in the game, I already know I've won the lane. And it sounds like really weird me saying that, but as soon as this Jax moves up and hits this, like, I don't know what he was smurfing from. Like, our top laner said Jax is smurfing, be care, before the game starts. And I love it when people say this, because I just, like, know that if he's a smurf from, like, Diamond Master Elo, I'm just gonna, like, pump him. Especially on a champion like Victor. Like, I'm really confident in like kind of my laning phase, I guess, and actually playing this champion properly and bullying people, which Victor can do if you know how to play him properly. So as soon as Jax starts hitting this minion here, I already know I've won the lane. The reason being, right, he might be able to get away with this against really like, well, just not great mid laners, yeah, who aren't going to play optimally like I might do in this lane. So as soon as he starts hitting the minion wave, who has pressure at level 1? I do, right, obviously. The Jax, unless he wants to start Q into a bone plating shield bash Victor, yeah, it's probably going to start E. There's no way he's ever going to be able to like access me and control the minion wave at level 1. So if you're in a matchup like that, all you're doing is just chilling, bro. If you can hit the first minion, for sure, do it. So you soften it up, right? That means you don't have to auto-attack, you know, like, or use an ability on the first 3 minions, the melees, to last hit them. So Jax, like, hits a couple of the minions here, and what it just, like, enables me to do is just control the wave. Now, the reason I auto-attack a minion here is just to soften them up again, right? Just to stagger the HP so I can last hit them with auto-attacks, rather than having to use my Q to last hit, right? Now, Jax moves up here, so what do? I don't want to auto-attack him, so I'm just going to Q him and just run off a little bit, space him perfectly, and then hit him again with my Q on the way back. And already this lane is pushing towards me. Also, me hitting the Jax, you can see how his minions have, like, ran towards me here. My minions might be hitting his, but he's got such, like, an advantage already because he's been auto-attacking the wave like a fucking lunatic, and he also just E'd some of my minions as well, I'm pretty sure. Here I just move up and pressure him for the CS. Lots of people here would be, like, really scared. So most victors, most ranged champions are probably just going to be sitting back here, right? in whatever elo it is. I don't know what elo, I'm not going to assign like an elo to it, but let me put it this way, it's not going to be challenger, right? So by me doing this, I'm just like pressuring this guy for any sort of CS. He wants this minion, I've got the pressure level 1, I move up and pressure the minion. I'm encompassing this minion with my kind of like damage range. I don't want to call it attack range because each champion is different, right? Like if we're playing against maybe an Ornn, his damage range is a Q, so you have to space his Q rather than his auto attacks. Or it might be another champion, I'm trying to think of one, like melee champions who are kind of spellcasters in a way, like a Zed, for example. You might have to space his W and E at level 3 rather than his auto attacks, of course. Even Aurelia might be the same because of her quick gap closing with her Q, right? So here all I'm doing is just spacing the Jax and making sure that when he goes for a minion, I am here to, you know, kind of just like pressure him for it. And you can see how his helicopter fucking hits like 5 minions here. This is pushing the wave way too much, and he's just digging himself a massive hole. Now, it might be okay at the moment because I can't really do like significant damage to him, but in like 30 seconds time, he's already half HP and the lane's just completely GG. So how do we get to that point? Well, it's just the same stuff, right? He wants this minion. I know the wave is fine. Like, I can manage this absolutely fine in this position. I can keep the wave here, no worries, because Jax really can't access this. The threat of J4 as well. You can already see me pinging here, I'm pretty sure, for a gank, so I auto-attack and run back, right? I don't want to take too much minion aggro, which is also why I Q here. And the reason why I Q as well, not just to, like, kind of negate some of the minion damage, is to thin the wave a little bit, because I know after I auto-attack him, his minions will be hitting me, and my minions are freely hitting his. So the wave, yeah, might actually get thinned way too much, but here it's not like getting thinned enough, so I decided to Q the minion as well, right? Now here in this situation, me auto-attacking him I think is completely fine, because I can get multiple auto-attacks off on him. Now, this auto-attack, maybe I should actually hit the minion instead of him, but for me to get that extra bit of damage, I actually think it's fine, because you have to remember, guys, when you're playing a matchup like this, and this is how it's going, in the next like 2 to 3 levels, you're going to have access to the wave no matter what. He's not. So the damage you deal here is actually for the future rather than it is like right now. I mean, of course, it's for like the present as well. But what I mean is this, and hopefully I'll show you here. Quite simply here, just last setting right. My Q's off cooldown, I know this. So I'm just going to run up and Q him. Maybe a better trade here would be to auto-Q, auto-attack. Right? And if he decides to E at me, then honestly, like, I can just chase him down. Like, even if he gets me to, like, half HP, I don't really care. He'll be so low at that point, and I have TP advantage. So, essentially, I've got 2 health bars. So, any trade for me here is really good, and I just get free damage in. Just Q and auto-attack, you know, it's kind of whatever. Maybe I should have preceded the Q with an auto-attack. But already in this position, the lane is completely over. Completely over. And this is, like, really the foundation to me getting, like, what, 50 CS to, like, 12 against a smurf Jax in inverted commas. Here, I don't want to auto-attack the wave too much, right? I don't want to do anything to the wave, in fact, so I'm just going to chill. And look at my positioning. I'm not back here, because I could be. I can auto-attack this minion from what, like maybe here? From here? But I'm standing pretty much on top of my melee minions, protecting them, right? Now, I know Jax is going to hit level 2, so I do run back a little bit, right? Try to last hit the minion, missed it, okay, whatever. I've also got bone plating here, by the way, as well. But when he jumps in like this, I'm like, this guy's a fucking lunatic. Like, I've spaced this, so when he jumps in, not only is he hitting my minions again, but he's hitting me with bone plating, and now what do I do as a ranged champion? This is just called retaliation. So notice here how I kind of learned from that trade before. I auto-attack before I Q. So if he's in range of, like, an auto-Q, you can just auto-Q, right? You don't have to just like, Q straight away. So I auto-Q him through this, and then auto-attack him again, and he loses, like, all that HP. He doesn't have his health pot either. Yes, he might have D-Shield, but here I'm just going to, like, stomp him at this point. I don't have biscuits, which is an important, like, distinction to make, so all I've got here in terms of mana is mana flow. Please make sure, guys, if you're playing these champions, you have mana flow or biscuits. You need some sort of mana regen in your runes. Exactly the same thing. He goes for a melee minion, I pressure him off of it. We continue. I just want to control the wave, right? So we're going to auto-attack Q when I have to. Probably should have auto-attacked this and then Q'd it. I thought this minion was going to die to the tower, and because minions are 21 gold, range minions are 13. Fuck that. I want to just secure this. So if we miss a couple, we miss a couple. Mechanics can always be better. I'm not like the most amazing fucking mechanical player on Victor. But anyway, the kind of like point I'm making here is just the ideas around mid lane. Like, it doesn't matter what champion you play, guys. If you're playing against a melee champion, you have to have, like, an advantage in the first 3 levels against melee champions. Like, I don't care what matchup it is or what elo it is. This is why Yone, Yasuo, Katarina, every fucking video I make on the Game Weep channel, because everyone's, like, low elo who's watching the videos, they're going to comment, like, how broken those champions are. The reason they're broken is because they get out of lane pretty much free of charge. Of course, they have good early lanes in some matchups. Maybe even most matchups, I don't know. But in this matchup, I fucking know the Victor, in pretty much every matchup, actually, against melee champions, should hard win early game. This is how you do it. right? Now, I've actually missed like quite a lot of CS, but remember what we looked at that screenshot. Jax has 8 CS. He gets another 4 CS or some shit, 3 CS in like 3 minutes. So from this point until like what, 540, he gets 3, 4, 5 CS max. It's unheard of, right? Like, you can't actually see this, but why? That's what I'm teaching you, right? And you guys can do exactly the fucking same in your games. And I would not be surprised if you guys actually climb divisions, if not tiers from this. And I've had people who watch these type of videos who climb from like gold to, I think I had one guy go from gold 1 to like D1 in EU West from just watching videos like this. So you guys can do the same stuff. And again, if you don't understand anything, if it looks weird to you or it doesn't make sense, what about, oh, but in my elo, you know, this guy won't play like this, so how do you win? No worries, just ask him below. This Jax moves up. I know he's going to hit level 3 on the second melee of the third wave. Here I just space him again, bit of retaliation. I don't want to do too much to him here because I'll take a little bit too much damage from the wave. Again, I can do this damage to him while, you know, pretty much preserving all my HP. Decide to E him. Obviously don't miss the cannon here, so I decide to auto-attack this. There's his Q, so he's got no gap closing ability. Now, the only person here who can fuck me up is Diana. That's the only person, and I know at this point, this dude wants to recall, right? When he Qs off like this, he's got no sustain left, he's really low HP, he's got no TP as well. The lane is just completely fucked. So what would you guys do here? So if you're in this position, let's just play like the last 15 seconds back, so let's watch again. I'm gonna have a sip of my cup of tea. Beautiful. Go. Nice. Stay contact. Notice as well, guys, how I put a second point in my E, because I know my W is just, like, absolutely pointless at this point. How many fucking points did I just say? But yeah, like, I don't need W. I'm not scared of Diana. I'm not scared of him jumping on my head. I'd rather have extra damage in my E. And yeah, just to pressure him more, right? Notice as well, if he wasn't to Q back, I'd be in range of Q. So I auto-attack the cannon while moving forward. He doesn't have E, remember? So if he was to stay here and not use his Q, I just Q auto-attack him. He's on this HP. So he kind of, in a way, has to Q here. What does the Jax want to do here, do you think? Probably to recall, right? So what do I want to do to this guy if he wants to recall? I want to stop his recall, because I have the keys to the fucking lane. You don't get locked out. You're not getting unlocked, bro. Yeah, I've got the fucking keys. You're locked in this lane with me. How do you lock themselves in the lane with you? Have you guys seen, what's that fucking superhero movie with Rorschach? Is that his name? Rorschach? Rorschach. Rorschach. The guy who says, like, you're in here with me in the prison scene. This is exactly it, bro. Jax is in a fucking prison right now, and you're the prison guard. Don't let him fucking out of the prison, mate. Keep him in here with you. Make sure he doesn't base. So every time he goes out of vision, I think it's here anyway, but even if it isn't, it's just a good tip. I'm like, this dude is not fucking basing. So as soon as I see him run back and he's out of vision, I regain the vision. I scout him, is what I call it. So you want to scout the enemy laner. And again, this could be for bot lane, this could be for top lane, doesn't really matter. Now, this is really important in terms of wave management. The next wave here, okay, I want to shove. Now, why do I want to shove this? Well, the Jax is really low. I could slow push, but my jungler is not fucking on the map here. So this is all about jungle. Okay, why I wave manage like this. The Jax, I'm not worried about at all, but if Diana comes, I'm going to have to flash and stuff, right? Don't pay attention to these, because here are my summoner spells. So I've got flash and TP still. But I don't want to have to just blow my flash because Diana does some shitty gank, yeah? I would much rather play this lane, you know, with J4 here maybe, or when I know I can 1v2. Okay, because Diana might be level 4 with red buff, and yes, that is like an actual threat, right? Especially when my J4 is farming fucking wolves, instead of doing top crab with my prio. Anyway, that's beside the point. So here I actually want to just like damage the minions a lot more than I normally would. Let's just say J4 was doing crap. I would probably slow push this. Yeah, I would probably slow push this and stand up here, so I'm close to J4. But because my jungler's doing wolves, and the enemy Diana can easily be here at level 4. In fact, she should be really, if we think about it. 330 Diana, she should be around here in these areas looking to make plays. So here I know that Diana's a threat. Therefore, I actually don't want to stay in lane longer than I have to here. I'd actually just rather try to get a bounce back to the middle, and then I can play the lane happily again. You have to understand here, guys, for the next period of like time, whether it's 30 seconds to a minute, I'm playing the lane in this box. How long do I want to be in this box for, given the map state? Because that's what you're thinking about. The lane state, if it's a 1v1, like no other like champions in the game, I'm just going to slow push. But because there are other champions here and Diana is on the map and an actual threat, I don't want to be in that box for that long. So as soon as I can shove a minion wave, I will. This is why I start auto-attacking a lot more, right? Like, we haven't seen this from me so far, apart from the first minion. So now I start auto-attacking. I might miss, like, maybe one minion here. But we shove the wave out, and now I can breathe a little bit. Now I can breathe, and you can see this too. see the CS 27 to 10. And I end up moving here, and I actually end up, like, kind of basing. The reason I end up basing here is because I know I can just, like, TP back. Honestly, I think basing is a mistake. I should actually just stay, because I've got mana flow. I've got enough mana to pressure this guy. Like, if this guy bases first, I just TP back, and he's just completely fucked. So I actually think recalling here is a mistake. But the point I'd kind of, like, made before this, just putting a ward down here just covers my 6 in a way. And even though they end up blowing, like, flashes and stuff here, I think. Does Diana flash? Yeah, so Diana and Jax both flash. I know they're not going to kill me because I have bone plating, right? So I end up living, and you might be like, you live on 10 HP. There's no way you fucking knew that. But I have my Q shield, I have a W to stun them, and it's Jax, Diana. I mean, they do have damage, don't get me wrong, especially Diana level 4 with red buff. But you can see, even with Ignite, like, I don't die from this. I just trusted, you know, myself not to die. They end up blowing both summers. I have to blow my flash, but what do I have? I have TP. I have 2 fucking health bars. And finally, you eat poo on J4 does something. Now, if we forward this, obviously I'm going to ping on the way, right? You can see my ping here on the way. If he was to hit the minions like a lunatic, I'm going to tell him to fucking back off, obviously. And then Jax just decides to stay. And at this point, this guy, remember, has 11 CS. He gets, what, like another 2 to 3 CS in the next minute or 90 seconds. And yeah, it's easy, right? Now here, again, I don't want him to base, so hopefully I try to keep vision on him. Do I move up? I do move up, and I stop his recall here, and oh my god, it's just so juicy, right? Now, maybe I fuck up here, guys, because there is a situation here where, like, I actually just stop the freeze. So again, he's recalling, right? I want to stop his recall, so I just move up, and I pressure him. This is perfect for a freeze. 1, 2, 3, 4. These minions are healthy enough for me to freeze on, but I think the reason I didn't want to freeze here was because, like, this lane is just so fucking easy, and I'm not really scared of Diana anymore. I don't know why, I just had a feeling, like, maybe you guys in the comments can say something about it, but I just had, like, a feeling here that I don't need to freeze. I can actually just hard bully this guy under his tower. I've got bone plating shield bash, I've got my Q right to block his damage. Like, I can just go to fucking town on this guy under his tower more than I can with a freeze. I also don't trust my J4. So I actually think it's just better in terms of like a 1v1 for me to push here. I actually might be wrong. And to be honest, looking back on this, there are a couple of mistakes, like me basing in the brush. I even think this is a mistake as well. I should just relax here. Like, there's no fucking reason for me to, like, unfreeze this, actually. But I still think it's fine. I just have to be a lot more kind of, like, aware of enemy jungle and support now. So, like, Diana fucking moving mid, or, like, the Rakan moving mid. I have to be, like, a lot more care and aware now. So I have to worry about 2 to 3 champions rather than just Jax. So if I freeze the lane, all I worry about is Jax. That's it. That's like the fucking beauty of just like freezing a wave. You don't have to worry about as many champions as much. And pretty much after all of this, this is where we get the 4 CS, and the lane is 48 to 11 CS. Hopefully this video was useful, guys. If it was, leave a like down below. Any questions, make sure you hit the sub button. I'm going to do so many more of these videos, and yeah, fucking stay tuned. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.